Let's be honest, sweet girl. Vance money is the only reason someone like you got invited into this family. I'm here because his grandmother asked me to be. If that troubles you, take it up with her. That was the first thing anyone said to Harlow James the night she walked into the Vance estate. It would not be the last cruel thing, but it would be the last time she let it stop her. Harlow James taught second grade at a public school that hadn't seen a new textbook in 6 years. On weekends, she ran a free tutoring program out of her uncle's garage for kids whose families couldn't afford after-school programs. She wasn't looking for a rich family. Bettina Vance, the family's 80-year-old matriarch, had found her after watching Harlow tutor a neighbor's grandson for free every Saturday for a year with no cameras and no thanks. "I don't need people to clap for kindness," Harlow told her the day they met. "That," Bettina said, "is exactly why I want you in my house." What Harlow didn't know was that Bettina's grandson, Holden Vance, heir to a real estate fortune and technically engaged to another woman entirely, was about to disguise himself as the estate's new handyman to find out if Harlow was as good as his grandmother believed, or if she was like everyone else who'd ever gotten close to his money, just very good at performing. "You look lost," the new heir said, the first time he found her wandering the East Wing. "I can walk you to the sitting room, if you want." "That would be kind." Harlow smiled, relieved. "Thank you. I don't know your name." "Wes," he said. "Just started this week." "Well, welcome, Wes. It's nice when someone actually looks you in the eye around here." He didn't tell her his real name was Holden. He didn't tell her that the family calling him Sir every morning at breakfast was the same family that would be calling him Wes the Handyman by that afternoon, sleeves rolled up, fixing a fence nobody actually needed fixed. He told himself it was research, a test, the only honest way left to find out what someone actually thought of him when they believed he had nothing. He didn't expect to like being nobody so much. Kinsley Marsh did not like Harlow from the moment she arrived. Kinsley had been promised to Holden since they were teenagers, an arrangement between two families, sealed with money and expectation long before either of them had say in it. She wore the title of Fiancée like armor. She did not wear kindness particularly well. "You fetch my bags from the car quickly," she snapped at a maid, loud enough for the whole hallway to hear. "I don't have all day for the help to stare." There was no need for that, Harlow said quietly, once Kinsley had gone. "Getting comfortable with the staff already, sweet girl," Kinsley said, doubling back, smile sharp as glass. "Let's see how comfortable you are once everyone knows what you're really after." Harlow said nothing. She'd learned a long time ago that some fights weren't worth having in a hallway. Weeks passed. Wes fixed things that didn't need fixing just to be near the kitchen when Harlow baked with the kids on Sunday afternoons. He picked mangoes badly and let her laugh at him for it. He watched her spend her own tutoring stipend on pencils and workbooks for kids 3 neighborhoods over and never once mentioned it to anyone. "If I could have anything," she told him one evening, elbow deep in flour, "I'd build a real school. One with a roof that doesn't leak. Desks for every kid." "What's stopping you?" "Money," she said, and laughed at herself for even answering. "Isn't that always the answer around here?" He didn't laugh. Something in his chest went quiet and heavy instead. "Why are we waiting months for this wedding?" Kinsley's uncle, Desmond James, no relation to Harlow, though the coincidence of a last name would matter later, cornered Holden in the study one evening. "Move the date up. Your family has obligations to settle." "This is my marriage, not your bank account," Holden said. "I only mean sooner is better for everyone. I need this settled by the end of the quarter. That's your problem, not mine to solve with my future." But it wasn't really Desmond's problem either, not the one he was hiding. Desmond James, Harlow's own uncle, drowning in gambling debt he'd told no one about, had a different plan entirely. And it didn't involve Holden's wedding at all. It involved Harlow. "You smile more as a handyman than you ever did as my own grandson," Bettina told Holden one night, watching him from the porch. "I don't know what's happening to me, Nana." "Then perhaps you already have your answer." She studied him carefully. "Just be careful how long you wait to tell her." "I will, before the engagement dinner. She deserves to hear it from me, not stumble onto it." He meant it when he said it. He was wrong about the timing. Desmond found Harlow's notebook by accident, the one she carried everywhere, filled with numbers, columns, tallies. He didn't ask what it was for. He didn't need to. He photographed every page and started making calls. "I need you to find out everything you can about the new nanny," Kinsley told her assistant the same week. "Everything. Do you understand me?" Neither of them knew the other was circling the same target. Neither of them cared. They just both needed Harlow gone before the engagement dinner, for entirely different reasons that were about to collide in the same room. The night of the engagement dinner, the estate glittered the way it always did for people with money to burn. Harlow wore the nicest dress she owned. Wes, Holden, stood near the back of the room, still in disguise, still telling himself tonight was the night he'd finally tell her the truth before anyone else could. He was too late by exactly one toast. Kinsley rose from her seat, glass in hand, smile already sharpening into something else. "Before the toasts continue," she said, voice carrying over the whole room, "I think everyone deserves to see what kind of woman is really marrying into this family." She held up Harlow's notebook. Harlow has been secretly tracking money for weeks, hidden from his entire family. Ask yourselves why a woman with nothing needs a notebook full of numbers she never lets anyone see. The room turned. 300 sets of eyes landed on Harlow, who went pale and silent, humiliation rising in her chest faster than she could find words to fight it. Bettina stood before anyone else could speak. "I know exactly what is in that notebook, Kinsley," she said, voice steady as stone. "Because I read it myself, weeks ago. Those numbers are not money she's hiding. They're the exercise books and pencils she buys every week, out of her own pocket, for children who cannot afford school." She looked around the room. "That is the woman you just try to shame in front of everyone who matters to you." Silence. Someone in the back set down their glass too hard. "How did you know exactly what was in that notebook, Kinsley?" Bettina asked, quieter now, almost gentle, which somehow made it worse. "You never once got close enough to Harlow to read it yourself. So who did?" Every head in the room turned toward Holden. Because if Kinsley knew what was written on those pages before anyone else did, then someone had gotten far closer to Harlow than a fiancée trying to shame her out of the family would ever admit to. And there was only one person that close. "Wes," Harlow said, staring at him across the room, understanding arriving in her chest half a second before the words did. "You knew what was in my notebook. How could you have?" "Harlow." Holden's voice cracked on her name. "I have to tell you the truth." He stepped forward, into the light, out of the disguise he'd worn for 2 months. "My name isn't Wes. It's Holden. Holden Vance." He said it like a confession, because it was one. "I've been the handyman this whole time. I want to know if anyone could see me, the real me, without the money attached. I found you instead, and it stopped being a test the moment I actually got to know you." Harlow didn't move, didn't speak. The whole room watched a version of the truth arrive far too late to feel like a gift. "Tell me it isn't true," she said finally. "Tell me you aren't him." "I am Kingsley. I'm Holden. I am so sorry. I should have told you weeks ago." "I don't care that you're rich," she said, and her voice shook, but it didn't waver. "You already were. I never cared about that. I care that you let me believe something that wasn't true, and let me find out from the person trying to destroy me. I need to go home," she said. "I need space. Away from this house." She left before he could answer. "Whatever happened between you two?" Kinsley hissed at him later, once the guests had gone. "Do not let it collapse this engagement. There are things at stake you do not understand." "There are things at stake you do not understand," Holden said. "This ends today." But Kinsley's plan hadn't ended. It had only found a new partner, Desmond, who cornered her that same night with the photos still on his phone. "I know about your troubles," he told her when the family had finally gone to bed. "My niece owes me nothing, but she has something you want gone. Let's help each other." 2 days later, Desmond stood in front of Harlow with a folded document. "This gives away my share of your grandmother's land to me," he said. "Accept it, Harlow. It's simpler for everyone if you disappear from this family quietly." "Uncle, what have you done?" "I was so afraid of losing everything," he admitted. Later, once the whole thing had already come apart around him. "I almost ruined my own niece's life to protect myself from a debt I was too ashamed to admit to." Holden found out within the hour. He didn't hesitate. "I know about your debts," he told Desmond, calm and cold. My accountant will clear them by tomorrow morning. In full. No conditions attached to Harlow. Not one. I was supposed to be the one you married, Kinsley said, when it was finally, unmistakably over. Our families arranged it years before she ever existed. That arrangement was never mine to keep, Holden said, and nothing you do to her will change my answer. Harlow didn't go back to the estate. Not right away. 3 weeks passed. No grand gestures. No flowers waiting on her doorstep. Just a letter, handwritten, that arrived on the 4th week. The kind of letter that said, I finally understand what it means to sit still and listen without ever once asking her to forgive him for it. She read it twice, then a third time. When Holden finally showed up at her door, he wasn't holding flowers. He was holding a box of school supplies, workbooks, pencils, a stack of picture books with unbent spines. I remembered what actually matters to you, he said. I finally read your letter, she said quietly. The part about learning to sit still and listen, every word of it. I still mean it. I don't need a nanny or a billionaire, Holden. I just needed you to be honest with me from the start. Then let me spend the rest of my life proving I finally understand that. I still need a little time, she said. Not forever, just a little. Take whatever time you need. He didn't move to leave. I'm not going anywhere this time. 6 months later, the Vance family hosted a very different kind of gala than the one that had nearly ended everything. There were no diamonds displayed like trophies. No notebooks held up like evidence. Just a room full of teachers, tutoring volunteers, and kids who now had a school with a roof that didn't leak. Because the first thing Holden funded, the week after the engagement dinner that ended one relationship and started another, was the Harlow James Learning Foundation. Harlow stood near the entrance in a simple green dress, watching the same grandmother who'd once invited her into a house full of strangers now hand out scholarship letters to kids who'd never held one before. I once told you I just wanted to see people as they really are, Holden said, finding her at the edge of the room. And I found more than I ever hoped to. Harlow smiled. The first easy, unguarded smile she'd let herself have in that house since the night everything fell apart in front of 300 strangers. The heart always tells on itself, given time, Bettina said quietly, watching them from her chair. His told on him, and then it corrected itself. Somewhere behind them, a little girl was sounding out a new word from one of the workbooks Holden had carried to Harlow's door, the gift that mattered more than any ring ever could have. True wealth, Holden had learned, was never in his name or his accounts. It was in the one person who stayed decent the entire time nobody was watching. That was the only inheritance that never ran out.
If this story touched your heart, subscribe to Dave's Stories for more inspiring stories.